Hey, truth seekers, welcome back. Zach here. It's April 20th, 2017. The big news is the false flag attack in Paris, France, near the presidential palace. I put out a video earlier. YouTube is heavily censoring this video. It had about 100 views within 30 seconds of uploading, and that was hours ago. And look, I'm just continuing to refresh the screen. The views aren't moving on any of my videos, nor are my subscribers. My subscribers have just been dropping since I posted these videos. And it's of course because YouTube doesn't want me putting out the truth, that this is a false flag, that this is a New World Order agenda event that needs to be exposed oh so bad. And I'll link the video I put out earlier. I speculated they'd blame it on ISIS. I showed how this was synced up with the Friday, the November 13th, 2015 attack in Paris, blamed on ISIS. Remember, ISIS is Israeli Secret Intelligence Service. ISIS is as real as a TV sitcom. And you know what? Just to make a point before we get into how fictitious this propaganda is, I'm going to show you something from my blog, something I posted months ago. There's a hit TV show on Netflix called House of Cards. And I think if I type in ISIS, I'll pull up the post I want. Perfect. This TV show is supposed to be a realistic drama about the president and the White House. And in this show, there is a version of ISIS. They're called the Islamic Caliphate Organization. And I want you to see this. Islamic Caliphate Organization sums to 137. 137 is the 33rd prime number. And this show, House of Cards, that this is from, this isn't real. This is a TV show fiction. Islamic Caliphate Organization has this Gematria of 137, like Washington, D.C., like American Meridian. That's what Washington, D.C. is on, the 77th Meridian. The word authority, the very important Freemason text, Morals and Dogma. White House government share that Gematria. 137 is the 33rd prime. In the TV show, the family that is being threatened with beheading is the Miller family. And notice, in Gematria, Miller sums to 33, like false flag, like federal, like order, like masonry, like secrecy. There were just the headlines from last week of ISIS killing 33 captives. And if you paid attention from 2013 on, when the news of ISIS began at the end of the year, there's been ISIS 33 this, ISIS 33 that. And when you learn the language of Gematria, you see how often this is done. In this TV sitcom, here is President Underwood, the fictional president played by Kevin Spacey. Notice what time is on CNN's clock. This is just a TV show, but it looks real. 1:37 p.m. That number, when they go to the news about him reading this about the Millers, again, 137, the 33rd prime, Miller 33. What I have been exposing since 2013 on my blog is what you see in your sitcoms, what you see in your movies is what you also see coded into your propaganda, because the same people are controlling the whole thing. And those are Freemasons and Zionist Jews in high places. Banking, government, media. It's no secret the media is mostly Jewish. And as I said, it's Freemasons and Zionist Jews in high places. Freemasonry is based in the Jewish part of the Bible, the Old Testament. A lot of people know Freemasonry is Judaism for the Gentile. Anyhow, we're talking about news in France tonight where it is illegal to speak against the Jewish tyranny that truly is taking place in this world. And that isn't to say that everyone who's Jewish is evil. There's all sorts of good Jewish people out there. There's a lot of bad ones too, just like everyone else in a way. But the point is, the people at the top, this is absolutely a Jewish agenda. In France, if you even speak against this, comes with a prison sentence. If I was in France, I would have been arrested a long time ago for speaking truth. Think about that. There really is this agenda, and it can't be spoken against. It's against the law in France, and this country is the victim of this agenda tonight. And sadly, the people there probably don't even care. They're probably all just like us in America, ready to blame the Muslims who aren't responsible. ISIS is Israeli Secret Intelligence Service. Look how light-skinned these people are that they keep putting on the TV that say they're ISIS. No different than the TV show we just looked at. The post I just picked up. Very light-skinned man, Islamic Caliphate organization. We got videos like this at the beginning of the first Gulf War. We start this illegal war, and then we give the people propaganda of Americans getting beheaded to get people sympathetic towards the cause and say things like, oh, well, maybe those people really are evil, and maybe our soldiers, Team America, World Police really do belong over there. So anyway, you got to learn this language of Gematria. Terror attack. When you see the media emphasizing like this, they're always coding Gematria. This is a language known to certain people. Gematria is important to Jewish mysticism known as Kabbalah, the Tree of Life, Old World esoteric knowledge. So anyhow, terror attack has this Gematria of 174, just like false flag, what today's news absolutely is. There's a few different methods you want to know. To understand how to use Gematria, come to this website. This was recently built by somebody who followed my work. If you followed me from the beginning, I used to do everything on the whiteboard. Somebody came along, built this calculator, revolutionized the process. These 4 methods are all based on the alphabetic order, forwards and back. You learn these methods, you see how relevant they are. We're going to talk about 187 in a little bit. Adolf Hitler has Gematria of 187, just like Paris, France, Gematria of 187. Here in the United States of America, a nation, largely born because of France's cooperation. France gave us Lady Liberty, we call her, the Statue of Liberty in New York. Here in the United States, we recognize George Washington, the 33rd degree Freemason, as the first president, even though he wasn't. George Washington has that 187. So does Washington, D.C., named after him. And with regards to the 56 on the screen, consider this. ISIS equals 56. So does Paris, France. And today, April 20th, Hitler's birthday, is exactly a span of 56 days from June 14th, which will be the anniversary of Hitler and Germany taking Paris, France. 56 days from today, this attack blamed on ISIS. Hitler, boogeyman of the past. ISIS, boogeyman of the present for New World Order military agenda. Creating wars where there doesn't need to be. You got to read 1984 if you've never read it. Very important book. So check it out. They're saying the terrorist is from Belgium. This is just like Friday, November 13th, 2015. They said the terrorists were from Belgium. We saw the false flag in Belgium on March 22nd. Look this up on Google Earth. This is 100% fact. From where the terror attack happened at the Melbeek metro station to downtown London is 322 kilometers. 322. There was an attack in Belgium on March 22nd, 322, and then London 322 the next year. Blamed on ISIS. Military industrial complex equals 322. Eisenhower, the 34th president, gave the speech about the military industrial complex. This monster, this military monster for profit, growing to something no one could imagine. Well, here we are in 2017. False flags, fake boogeymen for needless war. Anyway, false flag 33 like Belgium, where the terrorist is supposedly from. The police always involved. It's police always selling us out. The people who exploit their authority. This is the whole problem with authority. You see, this is this is what government has done to humanity. Government has sold people the illusion they need someone to take care of them instead of letting people of the world learn to take care of themselves and just be human beings. You know, as human beings, we're all relatively the same. You know, we need to sleep, eat, we have the same things running through our body, we need to take care of ourselves the same way, we'd rather be happy than sad or angry. So we learn things naturally. You know, we learn to take care of each other and keep the other people around us happy, because if they're not happy, we're not happy. You know, there's all these natural ways people have existed together over the years in communities without government. What government does to people is scares them so that they look to be kept safe. And then they give away things like their wealth through taxes and their rights through laws. You see? To be maintained and controlled. And why do people want to control? Because they get all that wealth and power from these people. You know? It's just like why a farmer has a bunch of animals on his farm. They're all serving a purpose for him. And that's another good George Orwell book to read. Right after you read 1984, read Animal Farm. Or maybe read Animal Farm and then read 1984. But those two books explain this world we live in. But here's some special 33 words, very important number to Freemasonry, Police 33, Order 33, Masonry 33, Secrecy 33. We're going to be talking about the New World Order. New World Order has Gematria of 174, like number of the beast. See my video from the Black Hawk Down helicopter crash in the United States on a golf course the day after news headlines of most U.S. troops sent to Somalia since Black Hawk Down. Then the next day, big news story about a Black Hawk helicopter crashing. Well, we'll get more to this New World Order thing. They said that the place that the attack happened by the presidential palace, the name has Gematria 51, just like conspiracy, just like terror attack. See, these are all from the 4 methods that we just wrote up here. These methods, when you learn how well coded out this system is, you see how relevant, and oftentimes how relevant multiple of the outputs are. Anyone remember the Bastille Day attack where they said 84 dead? That was exactly 84 days after the movie Bastille Day came out. Go back and see my work on it. I got a Bastille Day playlist. They had plastic dummies in the streets of Nice, France, telling the world that 84 people were killed and hundreds more injured by a big white truck which didn't have a drop of blood or anything wrong with it. You know, it should have been all dented up. Masonry also has that Gematria of 84, like Zionism, like United States of America, the Masonic Zionist nation, just as France is, with the red, white, and blue, and the stripes, and the history by the numbers. And think about the Bavarian Illuminati, May 1st, 1776, just before the American Revolution. The Bavarian Illuminati credited with tipping the French Revolution. Think about, you know, the U.S. founders, France, United States. It's not hard to see what's going on. The New World Order is an old world order. It's been going on. This terror attack with the Gematria 84, here's the headlines from Bastille Day. 84 dead. You know? Then the attacker was from Tunisia. And remember, Tunisia has the Gematria of 93, like propaganda. Also the 51, like conspiracy. 93 is also the number for Saturn, the keeper of time and judgment. Very special number to the nation of Israel and its existence. Israel was drawn up on September 3rd. Date that can be written 9/3 or 3/9. 39 books in the Old Testament. They say today's shooters had AK-47s. That detail wasn't out when I did my first video, but I did talk about 47. Policeman dead 47 like France. Today's Hitler's birthday, Mein Kampf 47, like president. This comes just before the election. Hitler, the president. We'll talk about why it's so funny that Hitler's birthday is April 20th in just a minute. We'll also talk about how Trump began his GOP convention on the anniversary of Mein Kampf's release, July 18th, and why that matters. Mein Kampf also has Gematria of 88, like policeman, like Trump. And again, come to this calculator. I'm going to link it in the description. Just get on here and play around. You'll blow your mind, you know? You'll see how many synchronicities there are. The world of sports, if you watch American football, check this out. New England Patriots 98, Patriots alone 98, and their star quarterback Tom Brady 98. And that's just the beginning. That's nothing. There's the whole world of sports is like this, and that's why you want to learn this language of Gematria. You'll see through the propaganda and the news. You'll see through the sports rigging. Yes, people all over the world. If you got pro sports, the same thing's going on, and if you know English, you can decode it because, you know, English is on everything. English is the language of the New World Order. And check it out in your own languages. You know, maybe you know how to build a calculator like that, set up your own alphabet, and the alphabetic order, do the same processes. They might be coding out in your language too. I'm a typical American. I only speak English. But we'll be talking about Trump, you know, Trump today with another European leader talking about, you know, got to do something about this terrorism getting out of control. So a few more things. Hitler's birthday today, April 20th, 1889. He would have been 128 years old today, right? He would have turned 128. Now look at the president of France who's up for, you know, the election. His birthday is August 12th or 12/8. 128, kind of like how Hitler would have been 128. Well, that's not all. From today to August 12th is 114 days. And why does that matter? World War equals 114, so does Holocaust, so does Pearl Harbor, so does history, so does Winston, and more. Significant number to World War history, you know? 114 days to his birthday. It's also a span of 115 days. Masonics 115, killings 115, Freemasons, the plural 115. But this 114 days later really pops in light of what the riddle is here with Adolf Hitler, you know, the centerpiece of World War II in terms of how it's taught to many of Western nations, including the U.S. So, check this out. Adolf Hitler in reverse ordinal, just so you can appreciate this. Adolf, it's funny that Adolf is 25 like Trump as well. But Adolf is 38 like Jew. Adolf Hitler is 110 and 187. Today's date, April 20th, 2001, date was 61 numerology. Adolf Hitler, 56 like Paris, France. It's 56 days. Later this year, June 14th, which is Donald Trump's birthday, that will be the anniversary of Hitler taking Paris, France. But anyhow, Paris, France, 110, Adolf Hitler, 110, and 187. Are you seeing that? All the overlap? Donald Trump, currently 70 years old. The word president also has this gematria of 110. And today, April 20th, is the 110th day of the year. Notice president also 47 like Mein Kampf. So here we are, April 20th, the 110th day of the year. You know, we got a ritual going on in Paris, France, in tribute to history of the past, Adolf Hitler. You know, I hate that so many people come to my videos and they think I'm crazy because what I am exposing is absolute craziness. And it took me a long time to figure out this is how it was being done, but I saw that we were being lied to, absolutely bullshitted, as explained in the 1976 film Network, how the news, all it does is bullshit people. But I just saw we were being lied to, and I saw that there was some rhythm, some pattern to it, you know, something beyond coincidence. In time, I figured out that there was this Jewish practice called Gematria, and once I figured that out, the rest was history, you know? And I've been documenting this since 2013, so, you know, I've been exposing the crazy people and making myself look crazy to many, but I'm just trying to expose what's going on so we can end, you know, this horrible show. We, the people of this world, are who are being scared by this agenda, and we're paying for it, because we've given control to government, which wants to exploit us. You know? Government creates the false illusion that they're here to make your life better. Imagine if you lived in a saner world, where you lived with a community, and you weren't commuting in traffic all day and grinding for some needless job. Imagine if it was taking care of your community, where you live, growing food, making sure your people are safe. Normal social life, community, people you can trust, people who you actually know who they are. Don't you see? Government doesn't want us to have this world. They want us to be scared so Big Brother can keep us safe. These are old world tactics. But now it's 2017, and there's cameras everywhere, and we're using computers, and they're tracking everything we're doing, And then they're selling to us the information they are tracking. Just follow what was recently revealed in the U.S. about how they're making money off of collecting our data. It's sick. It's going on all over the world. The U.S. is the prototype. So anyway, 47. AK-47s, the killers had AK-47s. President 47, France 47, Republican 47, Mein Kampf 47, Policeman. 47 degrees on the Freemason compass, The streets of Washington, D.C. come to a 47-degree point that aims right at the White House, and Washington, D.C. set up by a 33rd degree Freemason from France. France 47, like Trump 47. Look up where Trump was the night of the election, the 47-story Midtown Hilton Hotel, and if you think that's a coincidence, he announced he was running for president from a 58-story tall tower, 58 stories, and it was the 58th presidential election he won. For the inauguration, he fired the regular inauguration guy and hired a 58-year-old inauguration ceremony man. Freemasonry 58, Secret Society 58, Rosicrucian 58, Solomon's Temple 58, and a whole lot of more Masonic things. Craftsman 58. So here we are on this date with 61 numerology. Adolf Hitler and Heil Hitler, both Gematria of 61, the 18th prime number. Paris, France, Adolf Hitler and Heil Hitler, as well as April, as well as ISIS, all have Gematria of 56. Hitler, dead at age 56 in April, 10 days after his birthday. We know about 10 days later, right? If you're new here, you don't. But if you follow my work, you should know what 10 days later means. And if not, just type out 10 days later as words and then research some more of my videos. You'll put it together very quickly. But Lincoln died 10 days after recording in his journal. I'll just show you. Some people hate Mr. Some people, all the people right now thinking, just tell me. Okay, here, I'll tell you. 10 days later has Gematria of 144, just like if you write out April 4th. Lincoln, on April 4th, reportedly wrote in his journal that he dreamed of being assassinated. He would be shot 10 days later on Good Friday, April 14th or 14/4. This number has a lot to do with killing in time, 144. Here in the U.S., we remember Pearl Harbor Day that got us into the war. If you write out April 4th or if you write out 44, they both sum to 144. Military's 44. Kills 44. Soldiers 44. Trooper. Officer. So many things, NATO was established in history on April 4th. The current head of the military in the U.S. is a 44-year veteran of the Marines named James N. Mattis, is how they display his name. James N. Mattis, 144. His nickname's Mad Dog. I could go on all day. There was that sarin gas attack on April 4th in the town with the 44 name Gematria. I got videos on all of it. This is all part of the ISIS, Middle East, military-industrial complex narrative by the numbers that's going on right now. And people can only know about this or see this with scientific evidence by knowing this Gematria code. That's what this is. This is the proof of what all those who have eyes to see already see. There's no better code out there that you can know. So here we go. From today to June 14th, the day Germany takes Paris, 56 days. And that day, June 14th, is U.S. Flag Day, the date the flag was established, as well as President Trump's birthday. As much as I hate to say those words. What a joke. An orange Oompa Loompa. The spokesperson for this, the police is run by Masonry. The police spokesperson's name, Yvonne Asiamoah, or whatever that last name is. Gematria of 139, like Freemasonry, like Jewish state, like America, like Jerusalem. Have you seen that new TV show, Westworld? If not, you got to check out that show. That show is telling you about our existence, what's really going on in this world, how we're being used for an agenda. So here's my favorite part right here. Again, the New World Order is Masonic, it is Zionist, it is the banker tyrants who have a stranglehold on the governments of the world because they control the money. From the Friday the 13th Paris terror attack hoax to today is exactly 75 weeks. The President of France has named Gematria of 75 like New World Order, also like the World Order. You see? Look at this nice little pyramid they give us. Isn't that cute? Isn't it cute? 3. 33. False flag. Also, earlier this year, I documented this. You can go back and watch my video from March 16th, 2017. You know what? I'll just make a little playlist, and I'll include it. It'll be in the description. That was a date with 56 numerology. That was also the 75th day of the year, and I pointed this out then. I said, this is a New World Order ritual reminding you who runs this world. It was at the International Monetary Fund, the 119. Check it out. All-Seeing Eye, 119. Star of David, 119. Master Plan, 119. The Zionists got a confession. One of those things is they started the Vatican. And now they got little agents there like Pope Francis. Are you seeing this? None of this stuff is a coincidence. These are the people that have built this world. The Vatican, the Catholic Church, that's who protected Adolf Hitler after he faked his death. That's who also supposedly protected John Surratt, who helped kill Lincoln. Think about how Lincoln was killed by an actor in a theater at age 56 in April at the end of the war. The whole Civil War by the numbers. The one thing I didn't show you in this decode is there's something called the S exception or single reduction. The word president also has Gematria of 56 with regards to Lincoln and Hitler dying at 56 in April in suspicious fashion. You know, Hitler's body never recovered. 2 men blamed for wars that were president. Also, point this out if I can spell his name right. Francis Holland, Gematria of 156, just like if you write out 33. I want to show you something about his, or the number 156 in Jewish Gematria real quick. False flag has Jewish Gematria of 156, and what's interesting about 156 is 911 is the 156th prime number. The construction firm that built the World Trade Centers has named Gematria of 156, the buildings that came down on 911. You know, that were blamed on Islamic boogeymen to start wars in the Middle East that didn't need to happen. The Jewish holy day of remembrance for the destruction of the 2 temples, Solomon's Temple, Tisha B'Av, that's the name of that holy day. Notice it has Jewish Gematria of 911. The destruction of the 2 temples, Solomon's Temple and its recreation. Look at the Gematria of Solomon's Temple. 68 in the U.S., in 1968, 911 made the National Emergency Dialing Code. World Trade Center construction began. And George W. Bush graduated from Yale and Skull and Bones. And remember, Bush's father was the head of the CIA, which has Gematria of 68. I want to show you something about Bush's birthday and September 11th and him becoming president 33 years after graduating from Yale Skull and Bones. Bonesman Gematria of 33. If you know about Skull and Bones, they identify by the number 322. Bush would become president 33 years later, and he would help start essentially a holy war. A war that was looked at as Christianity versus Islam. Getting a ball that's been rolling ever since, bigger and bigger. Look at this. Military-industrial complex. Let me get rid of some of these ciphers just so it's not so distracting. Military-industrial complex has the gematria of 322, English ordinal. Remember, we just had the March 22nd London false flag, the March 22nd Belgium false flag. With regards to these being religious-based, the three main religions of the world, Christianity, Islam, and Judaism, they are the Abrahamic religions. Gematria of 322, 322. And occult, esoteric knowledge is based in the mystery religions. Another 322. So just think about it. You know, Bush coming in, you know, starting these wars in the biblical Holy Lands. This past March 22nd, they just reopened Jesus' tomb, 2017. Supposedly they spent millions of dollars renovating Jesus' tomb. Doesn't that seem like what Jesus would do? Spend millions of dollars renovating his tomb when it's a world of people starving and needlessly fighting. Notice the 119, like all-seeing eye. They also say the Bible was first published on March 22nd, 1457. Again, look at my work on Genesis 3:22 and what's coded into those verses. Number of the beast. This number shows up a lot. Special number. Number relevant to Skull and Bones. And here's that point. Okay, so again, 322, Skull and Bones, Bush, the Bonesman, in office when 9/11 happened, beginning this ongoing agenda with a lot of the same recurring numbers. Bush, I'll just show you this real quick. George W. Bush, his birthday is July 6, 1946. And from his birthday, July 6, 1946, which is a date with 33 numerology. Well, let's just do it in 2001. From July 6, 2001 to September 11, 2001 was a full span of 68 days. Just like CIA 68, Solomon's Temple 68, connected to Tisha B'Av 911. You know, you learn this language of Gematria, it is not hard to see what is going on in this world. And so I hope YouTube lets this video get some views. This knowledge has to get out. The people of the world got to know. Please help share this far and wide, truth seeker. If you think this is all coincidence, you know, look up what the word goy means. And then look up what the goy are to the Jewish people in the Talmud. And then think about all the people in France in prison because, you know, all they did was spoke truth against the Zionist Masonic tyranny, the New World Order. Creating all the needless fear, wars, and division, you know. If you're not against that, then what are you for? Until next time, truth seeker.